Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Lottie Loves Paper. I'm using one of the new collections to the store, which is Coffee and Friends by Echo Park Paper. I'm starting off with a cut file actually, and this layout has nothing to do with coffee, it's about hot chocolate. But the papers are very versatile, the stickers are a bit more themed, but you'll see that I've managed to create a layout that's got nothing to do with coffee. I do love coffee and I will be making layouts about coffee, but for this one I wanted to document me and my little boy, my 7-year-old, who we have hot chocolate and marshmallows together every day, so certainly during homeschool anyway. Okay, so I'm starting off with this fabulous white brick paper. As soon as I saw it I loved it, so I'm starting off with that on a white background. I've trimmed it down to about 7.5 inches by 10, and I'm creating this large block area in the middle of the layout. My plan is also to have a fussy cut cluster of flowers on the top left side and the bottom right side, so yeah, you can see where I've marked out the papers a little bit there, and that's where my little flower clusters will go. So just spending a moment fussy cutting out some of those flowers. They're from another piece of paper, and I've just cut out a few of those, so I've got a couple top and a couple at the bottom, so yeah, just fussy cut those out. They're on a green background, and I actually really love the colours in this collection, the muted greens and pinks, yeah, lovely, and blues as well. Okay, so I'm now moving on to my cut file. I've already cut 2 hot chocolate mugs. They're from Peartree Cut Files. I've cut them in white and I've just backed them in on one of the blue papers that's in this collection, and I've just backed the mugs themselves in the blue, and then I'm going to back the top sections as well with white. I also want to back the spoon with silver, so I'm just going to spend a few moments doing that. This cut file did have like a cinnamon stick or something sticking out the top, or a flake maybe, I'm not sure what it was, but I cut that off, so I've just got the spoon. Well, I think they're spoons, I'm going with spoons, so I've just left those then. Rather than have the 2 things poking out, I've just gone for the one, so I just cut that off, literally cut the cut file as it was, and then used my scissors to trim off the bit that I didn't want on there. I think it was just because I wanted to use 2, that the 2 bits sticking out either side of the hot chocolate just didn't quite look right when there were 2 of them. So yeah. Anyway, I'm backing the top. I'm backing the top, the cream effectively, in white. So I've just drawn around on some flat white smooth card. You know, I have just a couple of reams of white smooth card around. So I'm just using that for this. And what I'm also going to do is cover this in glitter. So I wanted the top of the hot chocolate to be sparkling, but of course I needed something to put the glitter onto, so that's why I chose the flat white. No pun intended. Yeah, I've just added those 2 pieces, and as you can see I'm backfilling manually. I haven't cut these pieces on my silhouette, I've just drawn around them and cut them out with my scissors. Same for the spoons. I'm just using a piece of silver cardstock, that's basil actually, for this, and yeah, I just drew around those spoons very quickly, cut them out with my scissors, and then I'm just backing them that way. So just using wet glue to back my cut files, and I'm also just sticking these flat rather than raising them on foam pads. I used to really like backing my cut files on foam pads, but the problem with that is that if you've got cut files that are very narrow, then it's very tricky to do. So I've stopped doing that of late, because the cut files I've been using of late have been quite slim, so I've not been able to do it as much, although looking at them now, I probably could have done that for this one. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I'm completely covering the cream section of the hot chocolate in wet glue, and now I'm sprinkling some just white glitter, you know, clear glitter, no, it's white glitter over the top. I've obviously used this glitter before, and it's because it's got a couple of gold flakes in it, so I just got rid of those, and then I've done that for both of my hot chocolates. I've also stitched around the blue, so off camera I pierced holes all the way around the blue section, and then just stitched it with a coordinating thread. 6 strands of embroidery thread gave me a nice chunky look, so I just stitched around the mug, and the handle I didn't do around the cream or the spoon. So yeah, just a little bit of extra texture and interest to those cut files there. So now I'm going on to my title. So I'm going to go for the title Happiness Is, and I'm using these fabulous Bella Boulevard Florence alpha stickers. They're flat stickers, there's loads of them on there. I love the font, it's a great fun font, and I love the size as well. I think I'm gonna have to get more of these. This is the first pack of these I've had, and I really actually loved them. Yeah, and there's loads of them, loads of letters on the sheet, so that's good too. Okay, so I've stuck it onto white card, and the reason for this is I want to raise up my title. I also want it to stand out quite well, so it's going to go onto the pattern paper section, and I know it's a white pattern paper with the bricks, but even so I would rather not see the brick work behind the title. So I've stuck my title to a piece of white card, just the same basil I used for the background, and I have trimmed around it to give it a small white border, but it makes it one word rather than all individual letters. So I've done that with happiness, and I've done that with is ... and that is going to be my title. And now I've got those two pieces, I can raise those on foam pads. Okay, so everything is now stuck in place, and I'm now about to stick on my title. There we go, that can go on now. Oh, I said everything was stuck in place, but not my photo, clearly. So my photos I've actually mounted as one block onto a piece of green cardstock. So I just had some in my house, in my stash, that just happened to match the green in the paper. I was actually going through my cardstock at the weekend thinking, I should really get rid of some of this. I'm never going to use this horrible shade of green, but that horrible shade of green actually goes really well with this collection. It doesn't look horrible at all. So it just goes to show that you just have to have the right things, don't you, in order for it to work. But yeah, I probably wouldn't grab a sheet of that green and use it as a background for anything, but it goes perfectly with this. So I'll probably be using a few sheets to go with this collection. So anyway, yeah, that's a green basil cardstock. I've just mounted my photos on one block in there. I've also used a couple of journaling cards as layers behind my photos. They are from the brick paper. The other side was journaling cards. So I cut my brick paper at 7.5 inches wide, and then the other section was journaling cards. So I just cut up 2 of those and used those as layers behind my photo. And then on one of the journaling cards that I've used, it had this little coffee tray, and I just fussy cut that out, and that's what you can see to the right of my photo. So just a little embellishment, extra embellishment there. Okay, so I've been through my stash. I've pulled out some Bramble Fox perspectives. I've got some flowers and some leaves and pink hearts. They're all in pink, and they go beautifully with the pink in this collection. I've also pulled out the little typewriter that says "With Love." I think that was in the February Fox box, so I've pulled that out and popped that in as well. Yeah, so I'm just now sticking everything down, putting the Bramble Fox perspectives in my floral clusters. I've also added some silver thread as twiddles in those 2 clusters as well. I added a craft tag that was just a random in my stash. I've got a few of those actually, so I'll probably bring those in to use with this collection, because for this collection I've only got papers and stickers. I don't have ephemera, which is unusual for me, but I think Sarah ordered them, but they didn't show, unfortunately. So I only have stickers. She is restocking. This collection was very popular and flew out of the shop the moment it arrived, so hopefully we'll get restocked soon, and maybe the ephemera will come into stock at that point. But until then, I'm going to make do with what I've got, and I'll bring in some other bits and pieces from my vast stash. So you know, not things from other collections, but little bits and pieces. So the craft tag, the Bramble Fox things. I've also got some little black and white gingham bows, and they go really well with this collection. They were just a pack of 50 I got of those off of that well-known auction site. So they're ideal for this. yeah, I'm just going to put in a couple of those, and then I'm just adding some enamel dots from another collection that's actually really old, not really old. I think they're Bloom Street by Paige, so not very old, but definitely not the most recent collection. I just happen to have those sitting around, so I've only used the white ones because the other colours weren't quite right, but I basically have most of the white ones left, so I thought I would use them, and they go really well with this collection. They're kind of white and sparkly. Okay, and I've added some wood veneer hearts as well, and I think that's it. I'm going to call that one pretty much done there. I've just written my journaling down the bottom because it's a follow-on from my title, and I've underlined that with a black pen as well. So just finishing off now with some splatters in silver. Use silver splatters for this layout, and that is it. That is all finished. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this layout. I've really enjoyed creating with this collection for the first time. I'm looking forward to making the rest of my layouts with it as well. I think I'll make some great layouts. It's a really versatile collection. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Lottie Loves Paper.